much more intelligent finally.
Exactly.
Okay, what else do we have to say?
The third area is really one that I'm really excited about, and that has to do with the fact that our users have many different levels of experience, and some of them even share the same computer.
Right.
So Copland will give people the way to set up private kind of areas to work on the system that basically give information that's appropriate to each user's level and needs. So here I have a system that's button-based, very easy to use, with a limited number of menu selections. This is a user who may be just getting started or doesn't need to know a lot.
Okay, so this is one particular user's profile.
Exactly.
And the interface is tailored to that person's level of knowledge.
That's correct. I have a couple of other examples here. Here's more of an intermediate user who, as you see, has the traditional files and folders. And they have a couple of more menu selections here based on their own needs and requirements. For an advanced user, we even give the capability to put in a password to protect access. And then we have the full richness of the Macintosh experience available here. So you see we've got the great selection of menu items that are available. And this is one way that people can customize their computer. A second way, though, is they can actually alter the appearance of the machine to better fit their own style and personality. So in this case, this user has an alternate theme that they're going to select, and the computer will basically update to show this whole new theme. And what's great is this is not just something you see at the desktop. If you open
the applications will follow the theme.
Yes, and I'll show you. ClarisWorks here does just that. And you'll see that the menu bar looks more, it looks more in keeping with this new style, but everything else is consistent. And what's really exciting is you can combine these. So for example, if you're a child, you could set up an environment that had a very simple user interface, but a very fun and attractive theme. So let me show that here. We've got button-based, very appealing. We've even added new sound
Perfect for kids.
and animation, and we think this will keep people excited and looking at the computer on an ongoing basis.
The new Mac OS due out in 1996 sometime.
Yes, that's right.
Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because of the competitive pressures, Apple is doing more than just upgrading its Macintosh operating system. It has begun to license the Mac OS and authorize the manufacture and sale of Macintosh clones. One of the first Mac clones comes from Radius, and we found several of these new Mac compatibles being used at the CKS Partners ad agency in San Francisco.
The CKS Group has been called a new generation integrated advertising agency, a sort of all-purpose shop that uses multiple media to promote its clients. The high-tech agency, based in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, produces ads for every kind of venue, from paper to cyberspace. And since paper is still an important medium, CKS has been looking for ways to simplify the process of bringing an idea to print. One way to do that is to bring color proofing in-house. It's part of the process called digital prepress.
Well, digital prepress is really the production extension of creative work that we do toward print. And what we're doing is looking at ways of shortening the cycle from creative to getting ink on paper. And one of the keys to that really is the proofing and the image processing and proofing phase of the job, which often is time-consuming.
CKS adopted the Radius System 100, a desktop imaging system based on the Apple-approved Radius clone of the Power Macintosh. System 100 runs on a 110 MHz PowerPC chip and includes high-speed graphics processing, Adobe Photoshop, and a color reference display monitor. The monitor's integrated color calibration is the key to making accurate soft proofing possible. The artist uses one Macintosh for retouching scanned images and photos, then transfers the graphics to the Radius for compositing and digital soft proofing.
To me, soft proofing is really something that's really grown out of having a color management system that is predictable. And when you can rely on the screen image to be as close as possible to a standard proofing system, then suddenly what you see on your screen has greater value and greater importance.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Giles Bateman.
In addition to the Radius System 100, Apple has also licensed the Mac OS to two other companies, Power Computing and Daystar Digital. Here to show us the new Power 100 is Bob Levitas. Welcome, Bob.
Thanks.
All right, we've got your Power 100 here. It's not turned on, nothing on the screen because, like, what's to see? It's a Mac, right? It's
Just like a Mac.
It's going to look like a Macintosh.
Absolutely.
The box doesn't obviously look like a Macintosh, so let me ask you to pop the lid, and let's talk about what's inside here and how it's different and how it's the same.
That takes place in the office of Microsoft Chairman Bill Gates. Along the way, they meet a wacky bunch of propeller heads and are introduced to the top 25 features of Windows 95. The pace is fast and funny, but don't worry if you miss anything. In Section 2, we'll take you on a step-by-step review of all 5 components demonstrated in Section 1. In just about 15 minutes, you'll get a close-up view of how to work in the new Windows 95 environment, and we'll become familiar with the speed, power, ease, and compatibility of Windows 95. Finally, in our third section, Microsoft answers the 20 most asked questions about Windows 95. So get ready for a few laughs and some great information. First up, the world's first cyber sitcom.
So I told her, I'm not made of money. You pay for the band. Your son's getting my daughter, and for pretty cheap, too, I might add.
Microsoft's 5th floor. Ladies' modems, children's shareware, and our bridal peripheral salon.
Wow. Taskbars and email and shortcuts, oh my.
Taskbars and email and shortcuts, oh my. Taskbars and email and shortcuts, oh my. Taskbars and email and shortcuts, oh my.
Well, yeah.
The Wicked Witch of Windows 95.
Okay, Myra, I'll get back to you, darling. All right, bye-bye. I heard that, and you are?
This is Jennifer Aniston. I'm Matthew Perry. We're here to see Mr. Bill Gates about a possible starring role in the video guide to Microsoft Windows 95.
He's out right now, honey, but you can wait in his office.
Out?
Out.
Out! But in his absence, he asked me, his loyal assistant, Bernice Keppelman, to act as host and give you a peek under the hood at Windows 95. I was very involved in the project, you know.
You?
Well, I kept asking the boss to clean up his windows, you know, update, redecorate, cleaner views. He took my advice. Of course, I was talking about the windows in his office, and he was talking about the other windows. You know, the operating system with tens of millions of users. Oh. Stop with the clapping.
Oh, we thought it was customary maybe to clap when entering Mr. Gates' office.
I was just turning the lights on.
So, this is where the magic happens, huh? The ground zero personal computing. The nerve center of the world's biggest software company. I mean, the atmosphere resonates with anticipation of mythical achievement.
Mythical achievement right now would be an unchewed number 2 pencil.
Honey, we'll nosh soon, but if you want the job, spend some time looking at Windows 95. What do you know about the system?
Well, I dabble with the old Windows a little bit.
And you?
Oh, I'm still mastering Pong.
Sweetie, why don't you sit in at Bill's terminal?
Okay, so this is Bill Gates' computer. I mean, that is like using Wayne Gretzky's hockey stick, you know?
Huh. Oddly enough, none of it seems to rub off.
Look, I meant for her to sit at the keyboard for a reason. Windows 95 is goof-proof.
We might have to mount a legal challenge, you know?
Naturally, Bill's already installed Windows 95 and is booted up. Just hit any key, and you'll see it right behind the screensaver.
Any key. So I could basically fall on this thing and it would get started?
Yeah, but don't, okay?
Oh, pretty.
Oh, and no messy DOS buildup.
What is this, a paper towel commercial? There are 4 things you ought to know about Windows 95. It's easier, it's faster, it's more powerful, and it's got great compatibility. Now, point the mouse at the start button, bottom left, and click.
Oh, look, Maddie, I'm computing. Oh. Okay, now what's that button?
Don't touch that. Whatever you do, stay away from that button.
Or you'll go blind?
Worse, way worse. Now, getting back to the menu. It's the best I've seen since they closed Lindy's in New York. From the top, you've got programs, which, with a little drag on the mouse, cascades into a submenu that allows you to quickly launch many of your programs. This replaces Program Manager in the old Windows. It's way better.
Well, what happens when you, like, had the old Windows and then installed Windows 95?
That's a good question, honey.
Okay, and where's the button that instantly kills anybody that calls me honey?
When you upgrade from Windows 3.1, old program manager groups are transferred automatically to this menu.
Oh, well, that's easier than changing dry cleaners. I mean, you know, you always leave something behind.
Now, below that is your Documents menu, which contains your recently used documents.
So that means you can get back to work on a file faster.
Precisely. Now, Settings gets you to the new improved control panel, your Printers folder, and allows you to customize the taskbar. The Find feature is all new on Windows 95. It's a fast way to find files or folders. Help is right there at your fingertips, and Run allows you to start up any program with a command. Finally, Shutdown provides easy and safe shutdown and restart. Okay, now let's load up the taskbar. I'll show you what it does.
Taskbar? Is that anything?
as an Apple Mac. And let me angle this up here so our cameras can get a good shot of it. And give us a little kind of guided tour of what's inside.
Okay, let's start over here. This is an Apple ROM. This is a cache sim. That's the CPU, a PowerPC 601 running at 100 megahertz. All the little gray guys on there are the Apple custom ASICs. There's 16 of them. These are RAM sims. We have 8 RAM sim slots over here, making expansion very easy. This is our I/O card. This
is different from what we'd see in a Mac, obviously.
Yes. On a Power Mac 8100, all this circuitry is on the motherboard. And so the difference is we've moved it to the daughter card, makes it easier for us to make changes to it over time.
And it also lets you squeeze this inside this AT box, which is part of the design.
Absolutely. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Good point. And over here we have 3 new bus slots. And finally, this is the high-performance video card. The high-performance video is another piece that's also on the Apple motherboard. We've moved it to the daughter card. We've added one little feature. This card offers a Macintosh and a VGA video port.
Great. All right, now you have another nice design feature here, and show us that one.
Yes, our engineers really like this one. This is makes it very easy to add a second internal disk drive. You just unscrew one screw, open the hinge like this, put the drive in, snap it back into place. We've designed the system to be very easy to work inside, very open.
So you've really taken the economics of a PC AT design, really, and put Macintosh stuff inside.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're driving the price of Mac OS systems down by using proven PC technology in cases and power supplies.
The issue for a user is, as it was with PC compatibles way back when, is it really 100% compatible with an Apple Macintosh, and can I run all my software on this?
Absolutely. Everything that runs on a Power Mac 8100 is guaranteed to run on this system. Apple certifies our systems before we're able to ship them. Apple says this is really compatible, so you can be very comfortable that it is.
All right, when I buy the Power 100, what do I get?
Well, you get the system itself. Base system is $16.99, and that's an 8540 configuration. We also offer, CD-ROM upgrade.
Yeah, the software bundle comes with it.
Yes, software bundle, $900 worth of software, including ClarisWorks, now up to date, now Contact. FWB hard disk toolkit, which improves the performance of our hard disks. FWB's CD-ROM toolkit, which gives us a little bit better CD-ROM performance. 250 fonts, soft Windows demo, that's a 90-day trial kit, and the keyboard.
I don't have to pay extra for the keyboard.
No, you don't have to pay extra for the keyboard.
Isn't competition wonderful? Daystar Digital has pushed the Macintosh design to its limit with a new multi-processor version called the Genesis MP. Joining us for a demo of this new monster Mac is Jack Kolk of Daystar. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you.
Okay, you pulled the door off there so we can see inside this machine, and it's very powerful, lots of expandability, lots of processors, lots of memory. Give us a tour of what's inside there, Jack.
Inside the Daystar Genesis MP, we have the 4-processor, 132 megahertz card, which is in fact upgradable and can be moved. We have 6 internal PCI slots. This is the video card here we see. We have 12 DIMM slots, allowing this machine to be expanded to 1.5 gigabytes of memory. We have 7 internal drive bays, allowing you to put internal drive expansion supporting the fast and wide SCSI 2. We also have the usual complement of external ports.
All right, high-end machine, quite obviously. Now, the point of the multi-processing that you can do in here is that you can do some things that are very processing intensive, very fast, obviously. Give us an example of a software application that really takes advantage of your multi-processor capability.
Well, on our screen here, we have an example of Photoshop, one of the best-known Macintosh applications. Adobe has gone out and actually rewritten the core engine of Photoshop to enable multiprocessing. So let me give an example of a very common filter that a lot of the Photoshop users use in a single processor mode. So by selecting the Gaussian blur, we are going out and accessing only one of the processors. This progress bar shows how quickly the process is progressing.
So you're running that filter using one of your CPUs right now, and it's going to normally take what, maybe 10, 12 seconds to do something like this?
Okay, so now
we see it's been done.
Okay, so we go up and look at this plugin that Adobe wrote for us. Again, so by clicking this box, we are enabling multiprocessor. So let me undo what we did in that last Gaussian blur, and now we'll do the same process using all 4 processors. Now it should be noted that we're running this with 4 132 megahertz processors, so even in the slow mode that we just saw, it was as fast as the fastest machine, and obviously that was much quicker. So this machine is running 3.5 times more or less in that case faster than Apple's fastest 9500.
All right, so the point in your machine here, this is obviously high-end. What you've really done is created a workstation for doing high-end processing like this using the Mac OS.
That's correct, and we have the ease of use of the Macintosh with the power of a SGI. I mean, this machine is very exciting for the people, obviously, that are interested in doing the kind of special effects that we've seen. The Terminator, the Forrest Gump. This machine finally makes that kind of capability affordable for the smaller shops.
And in terms of the multiprocessor design, I mean, that's your company did this work, right?
That's correct. Apple contracted with Daystar. They have purchased the rights to this, but we still retain the development and the evangelism, and we'll be continuing to work with Apple in the future.
A real powerful Mac. Thanks for showing it to us,
Thanks
Jack.
for having us.
Okay, two important things happened for Apple over the past few years, the success of the PowerBook and then the success of the Power Mac. Now Apple has brought them together in the first new Power PC PowerBook. We found them being used at Oracle, the database company, down the road here in Redwood City, California.
The database products designed inside these gleaming towers are more often associated with mainframe servers in large corporations than with small companies and notebook computers. But the Oracle Corporation has decided to port its information management software to the portable computer, starting with the PowerPC-based Macintosh.
Two typical uses of this product are actual standalone developers that are writing database applications. With Personal Oracle 7, they'll be able to be not connected to the network and do all their development work and have complete control of their database and develop applications. The other main use of it is for having information right on the desktop as opposed to out on the network. So you can put a tremendous amount of information on that one machine and be able to access it right there.
Personal Oracle 7 is designed to run on the new Macintosh portables and desktop systems as a native Power Macintosh application. The workgroup software takes advantage of AppleScript and features cross-platform portability. According to Oracle, individual users in small companies can for the first time have the power and functionality of a scalable client-server system.
But we're talking about a database that is truly an Oracle relational database that people have traditionally only seen on mainframes and Unix boxes. These things are now on the desktop platforms such as Windows 95 and shortly on the Power Macintosh. And they will have the full capabilities of a relational database as well as having the speed of the Oracle engine.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Giles Bateman.
It's a whole new world for Apple these days. Mac clones, a new OS on the horizon, fierce competition from Windows 95. Some pundits are wondering whether Apple can survive. Well, here to talk with us about the future of the Macintosh is the President of Creative Strategies, Tim Baharin. Welcome,
Hi,
Tim.
how are you?
Just in this show, we've seen Apple out there licensing now, so we have Mac clones, not only Mac clones, but guys who are doing, in a way, more than the Mac does itself, working on the new OS. Let's talk about the clones first. What do you think about this idea of licensing the Mac finally after these many years to other people, so I can go out and buy a Power 100, which looks to be a pretty good machine, probably less than I can buy a comparable Mac.
Right. It's good that they're finally doing it. It would have been better if they'd done this 5 years ago. I mean, they really gave Microsoft and the Windows a huge opportunity. However, you know, it's never too late, as they say, and I think what's going to happen is that there will be many other machines out there that are not Apple logoed, but instead these clones that'll undercut Apple's pricing a little bit, and then there'll be a group of people who are willing to go for those clones based on those kind of prices. So I think from Apple's standpoint, they look at it as another way to expand their presence, and they really will still have big numbers sold, but this expands it through the clones, and I think it's still important for them.
So it's good for Apple, not bad, that these other guys are going to be selling Mac lookalikes.
No, they wouldn't have done the licensing if they didn't believe it was going to be good.
They'll make enough money on each of the clones.
Right.
What about Copeland? Is that an important, new, significant thing? Is it just another upgrade to 7.5?
No, actually Copeland is a really significant product. For all of the people who actually own Macs, they're going to love Copeland. The multitasking, all of the new features are going to be really important to them. The fact that it's this late, though, I think is going to be somewhat of a problem. And I think that had they been able to get this out 6-7 months ago, they could have actually kept some of the people from jumping on the Windows 95 bandwagon. Coming out now, middle of 96, is going to be a more difficult situation for new users coming in because they've been dealing with this the PC hype for so long.
What about the long-term future? Not even long-term, but short-term future for Apple on the Macintosh. They've got, what, 8–10% of the world market right now. Are they going to get hurt by the Windows 95 stuff? Can they survive all this?
Well, yeah, they'll be hurt by Windows 95 in the sense that they'll never have the opportunity to get the kind of numbers that Scully wanted. I remember Scully saying that I'd like to have 20% market share.
Yeah.
At 8 to 9%, that's not great, but they still have a loyal following. They could still sell to that group. There's two areas, though, where we think Apple can still make some serious inroads. The home office and small business as one particular group, and then the actual consumer. There's a lot of people out there in the business who want solutions. They don't really care about Windows or Mac. They want a good solution, easy to use, good price. If Apple can harness that message and do it right, they could really do some good there. And then again, the Mac is really still the easiest computer to use, and from a consumer standpoint, if they can zero in on that, that's another target. However, I don't think that'll gain them more than 2 or 3 more points overall in the next couple years.
Tim, thanks a lot. Okay, if you would like to do some net surfing to find out more about the new Mac OS and the Mac clones, there are several sites you can check out. Our net master, Giles Bateman, has the details.
Thanks, Stuart. Although you wouldn't know it from Apple's marketing, they actually are working on a lot of cool new technology for the Macintosh. To find out about it, you got to go to them. So here we are at Apple's Support and Information website, and as you can see, you can find out information. You can get technical support, product descriptions over here. There's a tech info library, a little CyberDog hint of things to come. But I think one of the coolest things about this site is simply the software updates that you can get. You can download updates to different aspects of your system software. Now, of perhaps more interest to Mac users is the emerging clone market. So here I'm going to go to Power Computing's website, and I'm actually in their configurator, which is my favorite part. You come in and you set up, you use these pop-up menus to describe the exact system you want, and then down at the bottom you click check pricing, and you can actually submit that to Power Computing. They'll tell you what that system would cost. Now let me hop out of Netscape here for just a second. For those of you who want a taste of things to come with Copeland, I downloaded a little extension called Aaron. Get it? Aaron Copeland. Anyway, here's the extension. I found it on eWorld. You can find it anywhere you can find Mac Shareware, but it changes your interface to make it look like the new System 8 Copeland operating system.
Now it's time for our weekly summary of what's new in the field of personal computing. Let's go to Studio E for this week's computer news.
In the Random Access file this week, Sun Microsystems says it is trying to design computers for getting online that sell for just a few $100s. Those machines would be able to access software on other computers using a new Sun programming language called Java. Lotus Development and Intel have integrated Lotus Notes with Intel's ProShare to come out with a new product called Real-Time Notes. Users can link their computers for data and video conferences simultaneously. AT&T has announced yet another online service. The AT&T Business Network features reference databases, financial and business news. It is designed for the SOHO market and costs about $25 per month for 10 hours of connect time. If you surf the net, you're probably familiar with Yahoo. As one of the guides to the web, Yahoo is increasing its search capabilities by incorporating the OpenText 5 search engine into the guide. Online users will get their first glimpse of Yahoo's expanded search capabilities in early October. Vocal Tech is delivering a free voice communications tool on the Internet. Internet Wave, or iWave, allows PCs to broadcast or receive high-quality voice or music over the net.
I have 2 computers. I have a Mac and a PC. Obviously, now I'm using the PC. But are you guys going to come out with something that's compatible to the same server so we could all keep in touch?
Yes, we'll come out with the Mac version later this year.
A new guide to the net is an online magazine called Web Review. The bi-weekly e-zine features reviews of websites, information on website design, and covers issues shaping the Internet. If you're a frequent flyer on American Airlines, you'll soon be able to get miles on the ground when you shop at Computer City. Beginning November 1st, Computer City will offer shoppers 1 Advantage mile for each pre-tax dollar spent on products, classes, and certain repairs. SkyTel says it has become the first company to offer a 2-way paging service. The new pager comes with built-in responses such as yes, no, and will call later. The 2-way pager costs about $400 plus monthly service charges. Golfers can now use their own clubs to play on their PC. The Pro Play Golf Simulator from Thrustmaster transforms a home PC into a golf swing analyzer and simulated golf course. The package includes an electronic controller, indoor pitching net, and foam golf balls. It sells for $800. Finally, have you ever given a presentation where everything went wrong? There's a chance you can win a compact multimedia notebook if you can top anyone else's presentation nightmare. Interlink Electronics is sponsoring this web page-based contest and accepting entries until November 1st. Contestants will be judged on originality, humor, and sheer horror content. Well, that's it for this week's computer news. Stuart?
Before we leave you, my pick of the week for a neat new computer product. If you got hooked on Myst, you might want to check out a relatively new game called Gadget. This is a Myst type game only with people. It was created in Japan and it features spooky music, great artwork, weird people, and these kinds of ominous black and white video clips. Like Myst, part of the game is to figure out what the game is about. You travel around gathering clues and collecting gadgets to be used in unraveling the secrets of the story. I haven't finished the game yet, but it is captivating in the same way that Myst draws you in. The game is called Gadget. It's distributed by Synergy. It costs about $60 and it runs on a Mac or a Windows PC. That's it for this week's Computer Chronicles. We'll be back again next week with more neat stuff from the world of personal computer technology. I'm Stuart Chaffee. We'll see you here next time.